You know, you could have the best training season of your life, but if you don't get the taper right, there's a good chance that you might not have the best race of your life. So let's talk about mistakes to avoid when it comes to planning your taper. Let me get around this tree so that you can virtually guarantee that you've done everything right in your taper and you can really focus on having a peak performance on race day. Now, a lot of runners understand the taper. It's a period of about 2 to 3 weeks before your goal race at the end of a season where you don't train as much. And the idea is to get to your goal race still in great shape, optimized to run your fastest, but also fairly well rested. So you don't want to be carrying any fatigue or soreness into a goal race. But if you've tapered properly, you know you won't be. Usually a taper means that you are going to reduce the volume of the running that you're doing, maybe the first week by about 20–30%, and then the next week by an additional 10 to 30%, so that maybe that final week you're running about half of your normal volume. That is going to feel like a vacation. You're going to feel like you're barely running at all. And as long as you can stay away from those taper crazies, you know, that little bit of anxiety that comes with tapering, that feeling that you're not training as hard as you should be, as long as you can avoid that, you can rest assured that you're doing the right thing. Tapering is absolutely necessary to run at your best. There are a bunch of different philosophies when it comes to tapering, but there are also very big mistakes that runners make. So no matter what philosophy that you might follow when it comes to your taper, whether you prefer a 3-week taper or a 2-week taper, whether you prefer barely any taper at all, which I don't think is the best idea, let's avoid some of these mistakes. The number one mistake is to not taper at all, to go into your goal race with full peak mileage levels on your legs, to go into that goal race having done a really difficult workout the week prior and that same week of the race. And this is going to leave you tired. Just like how you normally feel during periods of hard training. You don't feel like you're fully rested. You're always carrying around a certain level of fatigue. So if you're not tapering, you're leaving a lot of speed on the table. Your body is simply not rested enough to run at its best. Now, mistake number 2 when it comes to the taper is to think that because you're not running as much, you then can take on a bunch of other stuff in your life. When you're tapering, this isn't the time to start that new, complicated home renovation project or to get ahead on your taxes that might be due in a month or 2. This is the time to psychologically and physically rest so that you are fully present and able on race day. So don't take on any additional stressful projects at work, stressful projects at home. Try to reduce stress wherever you can during the taper so that you're not worried and anxious about all these other things in your life, because that will surely bleed into your ability to run at your best on race day. This video is sponsored by Inside Tracker, our newest partner for the YouTube channel, and I couldn't be more excited. They are an ethical company. They are a company that I've been using personally for years, and they're one of the most reputable blood testing companies in the country. Inside Tracker tests your blood very simply. They look at over 40 different biomarkers, from stress hormones like cortisol to testosterone levels and vitamin D, also that you know what's going on inside your body. So you can tell if you're undertraining, you're overtraining, you're optimally training, or if you just have any other health issues that might be going on that might be impacting your running. And like I said, I've been using them for years. I've gotten numerous ultimate tests, and I'm about to get my 3rd, and I added on the DNA kit. This is going to be really special for me just to get a more in-depth look at what's going on inside me so that I know if there are any red flags that I have to address. And that part of the whole procedure is why I love Inside Tracker, because you know what they do? They don't just give you a report showing you how your markers might be in the zone or outside the zone. They tell you how to improve them. So if you are too low or too high with any of these metrics, they give you science-backed ways to improve upon them through diet, exercise, or lifestyle changes. So I'm super happy about this partnership. And if you go to insidetracker.com/strengthrunning, use code strengthrunning, you're gonna get 25% off any test that they have. This is a great offer, and I'm really excited to partner with this company, so hope you take advantage of it. That's insidetracker.com/strengthrunning, and use code STRENGTHRUNNING to save 25% off on any test. Now, the other big mistake I see very often with runners who are designing their own tapers is to not remember the importance of muscle tension when it comes to your goal race. So the week of your goal race, the final week of your taper, we really need to be doing things that will increase our muscle tension so that we feel better on race day. Muscle tension is how much energy or tension your muscles can store. And when we recognize that we are essentially using our legs sort of like pogo sticks, we are springing from one leg to the other with every stride that we take. Running is essentially a very coordinated series of one-legged hops. And if we are hopping, we need to be able to store and release a lot of impact force and tension in our muscles so that we can be more economical and race faster. It also makes you feel good. It makes you feel responsive. It makes you feel like you've got a pop in your step. It makes you feel springy, like you're just bouncing off of the ground. And if we want that feeling, we've got to do a couple things during the week of our goal race. Number one, let's not avoid any hard workouts. We still need to do a faster workout the week of our goal race, but it should be very short. It shouldn't be enough to make you sore. It shouldn't be enough to make you fatigued, but it should be a workout that has some faster running in it. Maybe a short fartlek workout or a short track workout. We're running mostly at goal pace, but maybe even a little bit faster than goal pace. And that's gonna really put a little bit of more spring in our step. The other thing that we wanna do is some drills and strides. Drills and strides are almost like practice when it comes to turnover, when it comes to moving your limbs quickly, feeling that snap, that pop, that responsive, quick turnover in your stride. We can practice that with drills, and we can surely practice that with strides. The other thing is, in the couple days leading up to your race, if your race is on a Saturday, maybe Thursday and Friday, we don't want to run on any very soft surfaces. Because if you go and run on soggy grass for 2 days leading up to your goal 5K, your legs are going to feel flat. They're going to feel the opposite of responsive, quick, and springy. So those softer surfaces really sap a lot of energy. If we can avoid that and instead run on the road, you can even run on sidewalks, this is going to increase the muscle tension of our legs. It's not great for recovery, so the day after your race, you want to go back to those softer surfaces, but they do have their place in your training. They can give you a little bit more of that tension and impact force stimulus so that you're carrying more of it on race day. You're gonna feel a lot better. So there we have it, runners. Those are the big mistakes I want you to avoid when it comes to your taper. We can design better tapers, whether it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That part I think is really up to you, although I typically prefer about a 2, maybe 2.5 week taper for most people. And if you can follow these rules, keep an eye on your muscle tension, make sure that you are still doing a faster workout, make sure that you're tapering at all, make sure you're actually doing a taper, and you are going to better prepare yourself for that peak performance on race day.